The second item, President Trump, is a regulatory freeze, as you announced in your speech, preventing bureaucrats from issuing any more regulations until we have full control of this, the government and this administration.
What's going on, Mutha Truckers? Welcome to Mutha News. Emails at muthatruckernews@gmail.com. So President Trump recently signed in 8 executive new orders, and number 2 that he signed basically puts a freeze on all federal agencies, including the FMCSA. So any talks about speed limiters, any talks and rules that we talked about as far as more broker transparency, well, as of now, all of it is going to go on a freeze. And according to the whitehouse.gov official website, which I'll put linked down below, they would like 60 days postponed so that they can relook at everything, right? And so one thing is for sure, you're not going to have to worry about new rules coming out for you from the FMCSA, DOT rules, or any of that jazz. So this puts a complete halt. So if you'd like to hear all 8 executive signings that he did, then that will be at the end of the video. Right now, I want to read to you verbatim what the regulatory freeze pending review is. And if you don't have a chance, you can read it yourself. I'll put links down below. It's at whitehouse.gov. This is the official website, and this is what says here. So, by the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, I hereby order all executive departments and agencies to take these following steps. Okay, so number 1, it says, do not propose or issue any rule in any manner, including by sending a rule to the Office of Federal Register until a department or agency head appointed or designated by the president afternoon on January 20th reviews and approves the rule. So right now, you know, President Trump would like Sean Duffy to head the Secretary of Transportation. But as of now, that's not certain yet. So they don't even have somebody in place yet, right? So that's the pause there. Number 2, immediately withdraw any rules that have been sent to the OFR but not published in the Federal Register so that they can be reviewed and approved as described in paragraph 1, subject to the exceptions described in paragraph 1. Now, number 3 is where they talk about this postponing for 60 days. It says, consistent with the law and subject to the exceptions described in paragraph 1, consider postponing for 60 days from the date of this memorandum. The effective date for any rules that have been published in the Federal Register or any rules that have been issued in any matter but have not taken effect for the purpose of reviewing any questions of fact, law, and policy that the rules may raise. So, you know, overall, the big thing about this is President Trump has put a freeze on all federal agencies, and it looks like you got 60 days before the FMCSA comes back with any other BS. But as of now, the FMCSA is frozen, just like all the other federal agencies, and no new rules and laws can come out. So take that for what it is. I know we're hoping for some things about broker transparency and a little bit more about that, but I guess that's not going to happen either. But I guess the good part is the speed limiters that they want to put upon all truck drivers, well, that gets thrown out and frozen for 60 days as well. So, hey, are you guys pretty happy that the FMCSA can make up new rules for about 60 days? Tell me, but I'm sure I know the answer.
First item that President Trump is signing is the rescission of 78 Biden-era executive actions, executive orders, presidential memoranda, and others. The second item, President Trump, is a regulatory freeze, as you announced in your speech, preventing bureaucrats from issuing any more regulations until we have full control of this, the government and this administration. The next item, sir, is a freeze on all federal hiring, excepting the military and a number of other excluded categories, again, until full control of the government is achieved and we understand the objectives of government going forward. Sir, the next item, as you announced in your speech, is a requirement that federal workers return to full-time in-person work immediately. Next, we have a directive to every department and agency in the federal government to address the cost of living crisis that has cost Americans so dearly. The next item here is the withdrawal from the Paris Climate Treaty. The next item, sir, is a letter that will be transmitted to the United Nations explaining that we are withdrawing from the Paris Climate Treaty. This next item is a directive to the federal government ordering the restoration of freedom of speech and preventing government censorship of free speech going forward. And lastly, sir, before we go back to the Oval Office to sign a large number of other items, is a directive to the federal government ending the weaponization of government against the political adversaries of the previous administration, as we've seen.